Well, again, greetings from Hong Kong. What I want to talk about today is the charge controllers and dump load controllers I like to use. Again, I'm not affiliated with MorningStar or anybody, but I'm just happy with their products. Again, 2 thumbs up to MorningStar and their TriStar products. Now, this one here is the TriStar TS-60 MPPT. I mainly use this for my 24 volt arrays, and what I do is I have up to 5 300 watt panels going through the combiner. I've got a combiner there. I've had other videos. Here's my solar combiner. I use MC4 connectors. It comes in. I've got my 5 breakers, 10 amps each. My surge protection devices are set for the voltage, like this is 24 volt. I've got a 12 volt combiner, and then here's my main disconnect, so I can isolate and totally isolate panels or isolate the entire array. So one of these goes straight to that. Alright, and then down here we have the TriStar TS-60, which is the pulse width modulator, and I will use this for smaller 12 volt panels, depending on the system, or even on a 12 volt. I will use the MPPT as well. And with the 12 volt system, I use 5 150 watt panels, because again, it's based on 60 amps. And that seems to work, and size-wise on a boat it works great. On a boat, remember, I've got my main house bank, and I've got a 12 volt bank that is part of my generator start battery bank, but it also runs all the 12 volt kit, like your radio, CD players, my radar. I've got my VHF radios, depth sounders, AIS. I've got a lot of kit that's for navigation, but it's all based on 12 volt. So the 24 volt gives me my house bank, which drives my inverters, which powers my large refrigerators, large TV screens, etc. And the smaller ones are used for the 12 volt for smaller banks, but it's also can be a dump load controller, and I use it a lot for dump load controllers because I have the solar panels coming in, but if I have a wind turbine, now wind turbines, I do not go through any type of controller. Standard on an AGM lead acid or gel battery bank, from the rectifier it goes straight to the battery, or to my bus bars, and so it's straight to the batteries. Using it as a dump load controller, I have one for each array and one for each turbine. So if here I have one solar array at 60 amps, I would use one dump load controller, so even when the battery bank gets full, I don't want this to shut off. I still want to keep making power during the day. So this would go, and any extra power would go to the DC, the DC water heating element, and then that'll just burn that off. So I'm not wasting any of the sunshine that falls down on the top of the boat. Now, if I have another wind turbine, I would add a second one, because they're in pairs. So this, and then this is my in, and then this is my dump controller. A wind turbine comes in, a second one would come in. And so with that, let's start with the MPPT unit. Now the MPPT unit, I mean, it comes standard with all kinds of features. In here, it's upside down here, I think. Alright. So this, I've got a ferrite, comes with a ferrite. This is my remote temperature sensor. Comes with, what's that, RS485 plug connector, so I can connect this and go out RS485. These are mounting screws. But this is what this comes with the MPPT controller. And with the PWM, this doesn't have, it doesn't come standard with a remote temperature sensor. So I still buy one. I know it's overkill. I don't need it because this already tells what's in the bank through the network system, as long as they're networked together. But I still have this because on the circuit board, in the memory of this, it will go and it'll have readings. It tells me if the batteries, temperatures, etc. That's what this is for. Again, it's a safety device. So once I have these and everything is up and working, now the other wonderful part of TriStar or MorningStar TriStar controllers and dump loads is you can monitor. The monitoring is fantastic. I've got this. This is a remote monitor. So from this I could go straight out one of these ports and I could go straight to this, and I don't, that's like 40, 50 feet. I don't remember how long it is. But I always seem to have more than enough, which is good. But this goes and this tells me these can be down in the engine room, or they could be in the lazarette, they could be wherever, but I've got up in the salon and where my power center is, I can go and see all the power that I'm making, power that I'm dumping, etc. And I've got controls on this. So I use the remote monitor. And I can go off of the MPPT. It has a network connection, so I can take straight out of this and go straight to my computer network that I have on board. And I always do, because I've got satellite TV, internet, etc. So I plug that in and I put in the IP, which is the IP, and then plus its serial number, so it connects, and I see everything. I've got control. But I can also connect the dump loads by using, it's called a meter hub. So the MPPT would come into this one here, and then the remote meter would go out of this, because that remote meter is getting power from the battery and from this controller. And then out of this, I can go and have my other dump load controllers. Or if I were to use this on a 12 volt for a 12 volt charge, say if I had 300 watts or something, just two 150 watt panels going to it, then it will still tell me what I'm making on that. And everything is through the same MS View, MorningStar View software that works on Windows, on Mac, whatever it is, because it's through an IP base. So you're just going through your browser to get all the information that's inside here. And that on this meter hub, I can also go and connect a MorningStar relay, and the relay will go, and if the batteries run low, it will automatically, I program it, it will start my diesel backup generator. So I have automation through their system. And this will expand if I have enough real estate on the bow, on the flybridge and all that, to add more controllers and all that. I can just add a second meter hub, and I can keep adding all of these together, and then I can see the power that I'm using, the power that I'm dumping into the DC water heating element, etc. It's telling me everything that happens in my system, and that to me is very, very important. Living off of the grid, I want to know how much power I'm making, where it's going, what I'm using it for. Again, I also, as a backup, I still use other battery monitor systems. I use the Victron Blue Power panels. I also use the Watts View for the out of the controller. Out of that controller, the output, I'll still have a Watts View that goes into this controller, or I'd put it on the other side. Depends on how I set up the system, how I design it. Every system is unique, and every boat is unique. So this is how I have these all set together. I'm going to be putting a link down in the notes below this video, and it's going to have the forum where I'm going to mainly post this. But I'm also going to post, if you just go to that link and go to the solar charge controllers, you'll be able to see some of the diagrams that I use and how they all get together. You can go to MorningStar's website. They've got an entire networking PDF that'll show you how to do that. But I'm just kind of talking about how I set up my system. So, and I'll have diagrams at that. It's off the grid at forumsmotion.com. But just go to that and you can come in, you can kind of see more. And again, I'm not affiliated with MorningStar. I'm just saying I give them 2 thumbs up because they work great. On the inside of this, it's solid state, so there's MOSFETs. And even on MorningStar's website, you can download the PDF and it will tell you how to replace the MOSFETs. So the things are robust and they will last forever because the user can go and find out how to repair the most common thing that goes out on any inverter, charge controller. It's always the MOSFETs. MOSFETs just die. That's what they do. They're based at 25 degrees C, but they always seem to run hotter than that, so you will burn out MOSFETs on any type of controller inverters. But they show you how to do it, and that's what's really nice about MorningStar. So I really don't have anything more to say about this. Go to the forum and you can see the diagrams and kind of get more information. And go to MorningStar's website. It's Morningstar Corp or something like that. I don't remember what their website is because it's saved in my favorites. But just look them up and go through some of their stuff. Even on the smaller, the SunSaver stuff, you can still network it in with any of your meter hubs and all that. They've got on the inside, it's a variable plethora of connections where you can network and you've got absolute control right at your fingertips from your computer. So those are the MorningStar charge controllers and dump load controllers that I use. I do recommend them, but if you like Outback and all that, that's great. Whatever works for you is what you should be using. For me, this is my choice, and I hope you stop into the forum and kind of talk about it. Be kind of fun. Alright, that's all I really have to say. Be good, be safe, be well. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.